You ever stop and think about the phone in your hand? Like, really think about what it's made of? Well, that choice, whether it's glass, metal, or plastic, is no accident. It's actually one of the biggest, most fascinating battles in tech, full of hidden trade-offs and tough compromises. So let's dive into it.
So that begs the question, what is the perfect phone made of? Are you looking for something that feels tough as nails, like it could survive anything? Or do you want something that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie? Well, as we're about to find out, the answer is way more complicated than you'd think.
And this gets us right to the heart of the issue, what I like to call the perfect phone paradox. See, all the cool features we can't live without today, I'm talking lightning-fast 5G, wireless charging, they require materials that are often the complete opposite of what you'd want for durability. It's this constant tug-of-war between amazing features and a phone that can survive a drop.
All right, so to really understand how we got here, we've got to rewind the clock. Let's go back to the beginning, to the age of the original king of phone materials. Good old plastic.
And you know, for a long time, plastic was king for a reason. Polycarbonate is actually fantastic stuff. It's flexible, which means when you drop it, it absorbs the shock instead of just shattering. Plus, it doesn't mess with any radio signals, it's cheap to produce, and it makes phones super lightweight. Honestly, it was the most sensible, practical choice for years.
So, why did all the big flagship phones ditch it? Well, first, it was all about perception. It just didn't feel premium enough. But there was a huge technical reason too. Plastic is basically an insulator. It traps all the heat from the processor inside the phone. It's kind of like making your phone wear a winter jacket on a hot summer day. Not great for performance.
But hold on, plastic didn't just vanish, it evolved. You've got companies like Samsung using something they call Glastic on their mid-range phones, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A high-gloss plastic that's engineered to look and feel almost exactly like glass. It's a really clever way to get that premium vibe without the fragility or the high cost. A pretty smart compromise, right?
So as the industry started chasing that premium feeling, they turned to a new material, one that completely changed how we thought a high-end phone should look and feel. This was the dawn of the metal unibody era.
I mean, just think of the iconic HTC One M7. That anodized aluminum felt so cool and solid in your hand. It just screamed quality. But it wasn't just about looks. Metal has this massive technical advantage. It's an amazing heat conductor. The entire body of the phone became a giant heat sink, pulling all that warmth away from the processor. It was a huge win for performance.
But here's the twist. Metal's greatest strength was also its biggest weakness. Yeah, it spread heat out, but that meant the entire phone could get uncomfortably hot. It also dented and scratched, showing off every single battle scar. But then came the true fatal flaw, the one that pretty much ended the metal unibody era. It blocks radio waves.
And this was a deal breaker. A metal back literally creates a cage that signals for Wi-Fi and 5G just can't get through. And for wireless charging, it's a complete non-starter. Wireless charging needs to create a magnetic field, and you just can't push that through a solid sheet of aluminum. This problem sent engineers scrambling for a whole new solution.
And the solution they landed on? Glass. Almost overnight, flagship phones became these glass sandwiches, a sturdy metal frame in the middle with glass on the front and the back. It looked incredible, it was elegant, but it came with a compromise that, let's be honest, we all know a little too well. It was so fragile.
But look, glass solved metal's biggest headache in a snap. It's radio transparent, which meant boom, wireless charging and strong 5G signals were back on the table. It also gave phones this super high-tech, glossy look that designers just fell in love with. And hey, thanks to some clever chemistry, it was actually pretty good at resisting scratches at first.
Oh, those trade-offs, we are living with them every single day. One wrong drop, and crack, you've got a shattered back. It's an absolute magnet for every single fingerprint. And, just like plastic, it's a terrible conductor of heat. So it traps all that heat right over the processor, which can cause something called thermal throttling, where your phone literally slows itself down so it doesn't overheat.
And I mean, when you look at the raw numbers, the difference is just staggering. Aluminum is over 200 times better at conducting heat than glass, and it's over 1,000 times better than plastic. It's why a metal phone just gets warm all over, but your glass phone can feel like it has a tiny little furnace burning away in one specific spot.
Yeah, this quote from XDA developers just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It really sums up the frustration a lot of us feel. For years, it's felt like we've been trading real-world durability for a flashy look and wireless charging. It's a perfect example of how, in the world of tech, looks can often win out over practicality. So, faced with this, let's call it an epidemic of shattered phones, the entire industry poured a ton of money and resources into one big goal: making glass tougher. And that's where companies like Corning, the folks behind Gorilla Glass, step into the spotlight.
And this timeline, it basically shows a relentless race against our own clumsiness. I mean, it all started when Steve Jobs kept scratching the plastic screen on the first iPhone with his keys. From there, Gorilla Glass got better at resisting deep scratches. Then it focused on surviving drops. And now the newest stuff like Victus and Armor are trying to do it all: be drop resistant, scratch resistant, and even cut down on screen reflections.
And that brings us right up to today and the latest attempt to solve this whole perfect phone paradox. Enter titanium. You're seeing it on the absolute top-tier phones now, like the iPhone 15 Pro and the Galaxy S24 Ultra. And it offers a totally different kind of compromise. They use it for the phone's frame, giving you the strength of steel but at a much lighter weight. It makes these huge phones feel so much less clunky in your hand. But notice that last point. It's still a metal, so you still need that glass back for wireless charging to work. And you can see the real-world impact in reviews like this one from TechRadar. The writer dropped their brand new S24 Ultra and was shocked when it survived completely unharmed. That stronger, tougher frame can really make a difference in surviving a fall, even if that glass back is still technically the weak point.
Okay, so after this whole journey through plastics and metals and glass, one thing is crystal clear. Today's phones are not made of just one thing. Not anymore. They're these incredibly complex hybrids engineered to balance all of these competing demands. So, what does that balancing act actually look like?
Well, it seems we've moved past trying to find one single best material. Today's phones are all about using the right tool for the right job. You've got glass, which is basically the gateway for all our modern features. You've got plastic, or glass-stick, that still rules the mid-range with its unbeatable durability for the price. Metal frames are the structural backbone holding everything together. And now titanium is pushing the limits of just how strong and light you can make that backbone. So, in the end, it's just a constant balancing act. There's no single perfect material. There are only different sets of compromises for different priorities. Which really makes you wonder, if you were the one designing a phone, what would you choose? Would you give up wireless charging to get an indestructible metal back? Or is that fragile, beautiful feel of glass just worth the risk? It's definitely something to think about next time you pick up your phone.